Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk, back again with another fancy fold project for you, and this time it's a four-way fold card, and this is great because it folds down to the size to go in a standard envelope, but when it opens up you can see here, if I show it there, you get a really pretty sort of effect, and obviously you can have it up like so, you know, or you can have it standing on the front depending on how much space the recipient's got, and it's got a lovely big area on the back for you to write on, or on one of these panels inside as well. So really useful card, and it's I made one for my father for his 90th, as it's a little bit one of those sort of more special cards that you want to make. And this time I've used the Cake Soiree paper and some of the dies and some of the stamps as well, to sort of show how well all of those coordinate together, and the lovely colours in the foiled card. You've got beautiful silver foiling and then lovely blues and pinks and sort of coral colours, so you can really tailor it to whatever you like, and you could obviously put something on the front if you wanted as well. Make it as elaborate or simple as you like. So on with the card making. So you're going to need an A4 piece of card, and you'll be able to get all of this from one A4 piece of basic card, and this is powder pink that I've got here, and this piece is 11.5 by 5.5 inches, 28.5 by 14. I'll put both sets of measurements on my blog. And you're going to need this piece, which is sort of makes the three-fold, and then an extra piece for the front as well. So you're going to score this, right, you're going to score the long at 1/4 of an inch. So this is our little flap that's going to join onto the front. So just 1/4 inch on the right hand side here. Flip that around, and then you're going to score at 3 3/4, 7 1/4, and that's our three folds done there. Then with the 1/4 inch at the top, just cut down at 3/4 of an inch to this score line here, like so. You don't need to score, but you do need to cut, and then you can trim away that piece there. Okay, so very simple scoring. We then need to burnish our folds, so just fold and burnish those, because we're going to be folding them back on themselves as well, so need to score that and burnish those really well. So this is going to be the back of our card. Fold that one forward because that's our next section. That one comes back, and then this is going to join onto our front piece of card. So that's the basic card. Our front piece that you're going to want is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 inches, 6.5 by 10 centimetres, and we're going to attach that on this little edge here to the very front, like so. Now I'm going to use some fine red tape on this, as I find that's better, and on this occasion I'm going to put it actually on the card itself. And don't worry if you come too far up, because you're going to be trimming that away once it's stuck. So burnish that well with using a bone folder. Take off the red tape, and then you want to make sure it's nicely aligned. So you're going to come in and just line up on that edge, and just come this side of the score line. Use our lines on our grid paper to line it up. Just take your time. Just flipping my piece of card over where I've cut it. Okay, and then again in with your bone folder to burnish, and all you're going to do then is just literally snip and snip again, and there's our four-way fold card, all ready for us to decorate. So I'm now going to do some layers, and I've pre-cut these because it makes it obviously quicker to show you. So your back panel, your card, this piece, which is contrast here, is 4 by 5¼ inches. And that'll just pop straight onto there. And I've cut a piece of our designer series paper, which is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So if you're working in centimetres, these back panels are 13.5 by 9.5 and then 13 by 9 centimetres. Next, you want to cut 2 pieces of card for these middle sections here. And these 2 pieces of card are 4.5 by 3¼ inches. Which is 8 by 11.5 centimetres, and those layer on the middle there. And with all of these, obviously we're using that 1/4 inch border, so a slightly wider border, so the 1/2 centimetre border. There we go. And then the piece for the front, so our front panel piece is going to go on here, is 2.5 by 4 inches, which is 6 by 9.5 centimetres. So again, you could put extra layers on the inside if you wanted. So I'm going to put my DSP layers on. So I've put a piece of DSP on the front panel here for the front card. And if you wanted to put a layer of DSP onto one of these panels, sorry, this one was 2.25 by 3 3/4. If you wanted to put a panel on onto these, obviously you could as well, and make that just 1/4 inch smaller so you get a border going round. Okay, so now we've got our basic card, you can see here. So what I've done is, what we want is 2 panels of Whisper White card for the middle there. So those panels need to be 4.25. I will just double check that. Yeah, by 3 inches. So 4.25 by 3 inches to go in there. And we can do our stamping to go with that. I just realised I've only cut one piece of my card, so I'm going to very quickly cut an extra piece. So 4.25 by 3 inches. 3 inches. So pop our card to one side, and we're going to do our 2 panels. So I'm using, first of all, some Memento ink to stamp our suitcase, this one here. So I'm just going to come in and stamp that into the corner, just because I thought that was quite a pretty pattern there. And I'm going to come in, and to do the sentiment, in the original one I've done it in 2 colours. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to be using I've just realised I picked up the wrong pen. So I've actually got my Berry Burst pen, but that's fine. That's what I did with my original one. So that's my Berry Burst going on. And with the stamping markers, because they're exactly the same as our inks, you get lovely colour matching. And in the markers, it makes it easy to colour on your stamps. To get, you can do just one word in a different colour, or you could do alternate letters if you wanted to. I tend to just do them in straight lines. So I'm going to line that up using my grid paper, and then pop my sentiment in the middle there. Then I'm going to come in with some rich raspberry to create the outline of the flowers on the outside there. And again, that leaves just a pretty area you could write on if you wanted to. I'm going to come in and do some old olive leaves around there as well. And that just brings it a little bit to life with those. And then you can come in with a more solid one. I've just realised I picked up a solid one, but it was the wrong one. So I'm just going to do my solid one using some powder pink ink to go around those. So I'm just going to leave those to dry slightly. And the beauty of these is that you can line them up pretty exactly, but I'm just going to come in and just overlay that, as you can see, because there's still, as I say, you can line them up if you want to, but I actually quite like the effect of the different flowers coming in and not aligning exactly. There we go. And then I've pre-cut a couple of die cuts as well. So these are the coordinating dies that go with the cake soiree. And I'm just coming in with a glue pen on the back here. And with the other ones I've overlaid them, but I just thought I'd pop those to one side. The beauty of these dies is that if you've got dies like this, or just of outline dies, if you end up with a slight smudge, they're a great way to disguise those dies as well. Just put that in there. And again, because we've got layers on our card, they don't have to be right precisely on the edge. You can then add them afterwards. So all I'm going to do now, add them afterwards, they're going to overlay, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to come in with my markers and colour in these here. Now, because it's in Memento, we can use the Stampin' Right markers. We could also use an aqua painter if we wanted to, but we've used Whisper White stock, which is fine. I mean, you can watercolour on it very lightly, a certain colour, but it perhaps isn't as robust for heavy watercolouring as some of our other cards. So I'm just coming in and just colouring in some of those flowers very gently to kind of echo the colours that we've got in the rest of the card. And yeah. There's the one sort of darker flower, and I've deliberately left a few little white bits there just to lift the colouring very slightly, and some old olive down here, and just a few leaves. Now all we need to do is add those panels onto our card. And there we have our second four-way fold card, ready to pop into our envelope. So that's my second one that I've just done, and that was my original. So I hope you enjoy making one of these. You can see the paper does a lot of the hard work for you, but you can pick up either the Berry Burst that I've used here, or the Rich Raspberry, and both of those colours work really well with the card. And as you can see, it just neatly folds up, ready to go or be gifted. Thanks for watching. Hope you come back and see me again soon, and I hope you enjoy making these fancy fold cards. If you want any more information, don't hesitate to get in touch and visit my blog. Thanks for watching. Bye now.